Hello, and welcome to the Darby Creek Diaries. I'm Gail Thompson, and it happens to be Thanksgiving Day, so I want you to know how thankful I am that you came and joined me. I started this series with another video, and I will link to it below because this is part 2 of how to make moons many ways. This first one is a lot like the previous video, but we're going to use the textured side of the Ranger watercolor paper. And there's the black soot stain that I was missing and had to order. And now I'm going to use some shaded lilac spray stain. And it's just kind of a cocktail of stains. You don't have to use the exact ones. Just something in the blues, the purples, a little black. Throw a little bit of old paper. You know, old paper is funny because I never thought that would be a color I would use, or that frayed burlap, but I love them because they do some really neat things. So I added water to this. I sprayed quite a bit of water on it. Now I'm kind of dabbing up the black soot so that I can pick up this without making a huge mess. And that has reusable adhesive on the back, which I mentioned in the first video. Now I'm adding it more water, and now it's just getting a little more, you know, moonlight with the clouds and stuff. I don't want it to be too spooky because this card is going to wind up being a Christmas card. So I didn't want it to be, you know, real creepy or anything, but I just wanted to try this technique. So we're just going to see what happens. The main thing is that you need to dry between layers. And if you see something you like, be sure to dry it. I am adding the mask back on because I've got to have a little bit of glow around the moon and some more colors. And a lot of times when you add a lot of water, it kind of dulls everything out, especially if you're using oxide sprays. So I'm bringing that mask back up and adding some more water and then drying it again. And you can pick it up and move it around and get some cool effects with the drips. The textured side of the Tim Holtz Distress watercolor paper by Ranger just gives it the water just and the ink just flow a little differently, and it just gives a different effect, and it was, I thought, worth showing you. So now I'm aiming the water so we can get some of that fossilized amber kind of heading into the moon just a little bit, and feel free to dab up whatever you don't like. For crying out loud, this is just water, and it's water-based ink, so you could hose this whole thing down and start over if you wanted to. So I still wasn't happy with the aura around the moon, so I put some squeezed lemonade there to brighten it up. Halloween, I might have used something a little darker, but I still want this to be somewhat cheery. And I'm throwing a little bit of, I'm not sure what color of mica spray I had there, but I added some water here, and we're just going to have some droplets. I love adding the mica spray because it puts some shimmer to it. And now I'm going to start with, this is the fog, Lost Shadow. And the thing about this, I thought I would like it, and at the end of the day, I didn't. But I thought I'd show you. I just take a domed blending tool, and I look at that and I'm like, that doesn't look like the moon to me. So, and it probably gives a little bit a different effect because now I will have this gray below. But now I'm doing it with the fossilized amber, and I wind up liking that a whole lot better. It's just to taste it. This isn't, we're not scientifically correct with this, but I do like that a lot better. But I didn't want it to be quite so crisp, so more water, more dabbing. This is a process. It is certainly not one and done. Now I'm taking some black soot ink with a blending tool and darkening everything up because, once again, You do all that water and it just kind of dulls out everything. And I did want it to be night, obviously, since there's a moon there. But I'm beginning to like this, but I'm still not completely in love. And you know, sometimes you risk going past the point of no return, but with this, you actually can return. So now I'm to the point where I think, oh, I think this is going to do me. Whoops, no, I'm not. Sorry. More spray. It just needed a little more and some dribbles. I actually clogged the spray bottle thing, and I was too lazy to get up, and I have new ones. It's just easier to replace them. They're very, very cheap, like a couple of bucks. So rather than spend a lot of time, I just usually have an extra one sitting there, but I didn't. So I just did some dribbles, which gives you a different effect. And it just, all of this just adds texture, you know, just layer and layer of texture. And I'm really liking this. So this, I decide I'm going to leave alone. I just wanted, this is all about the moons, but I just wanted to show you how I line up sentiments and letters. I ran this through the die cutter. It's one big die cut from Simon Says Stamp. And I have everything listed below. I appreciate it when you use those links. It helps me a lot. And so that's how I line it up. I just keep it in the paper and then lay it down and pull everything up. And it's a lot easier than trying to do it line by line and using a ruler. Now I'm making the die cut moon. This is a whole different card. And I'm going to die cut the Moonlight dies from Sizzix. I'm starting with Lost Shadow. This is for the top layer. And I'm adding some Frozen Fog mica spray and getting it good and dry. And I know I'm going speedy. I actually edited this down from an hour because I don't like my videos to be really long. So I am going to stack this top part up. Now you do have to be careful. These moons are not completely circular, so you do kind of have to find. It's kind of wonky, which makes it really fun for Halloween, and you don't really notice it at Christmas anyway. And that is from that die set I showed you. So this is what it looks like, just the two layers. But I decided that I would add a couple of more layers to give it a little bit of shadow. So it'll pop up just a little bit. It's very, very discreet. You wouldn't have to do this if you didn't want to. And then I'm lining this up, and there is our moon. Now I'm not going to show a bunch of the rest of the card because this is really about the moons, but I made a mask here for a snowbank, and that is just out of Masking Magic. This is Gina K's Masking Magic. And I'm taking a bunch of oxides and just making a background, doing the water droplets, drying it off, just like you've seen a lot, just to give the sky a little bit of texture. And then I kind of positioning my moon. I did not use the biggest moon. And here's the finished card. Like I said, this was about the moons. I did add some sparkle. I was going to use the Snowfall grit paste, but mine had dried out. As Tim says, this is not the never-ending gobstopper. You've got to, and I even had the wrap on it, stuck in it. And then I made I took that woven folder and ran the scarf pieces through it to give that some texture. And I put a little bit of shimmer on the heart, and I put, and this is the wood grain cardstock I made the little arms out of. And this is a metallic bowl. I'm telling you, it's a lifesaver for those little pieces. You can turn it over. I don't know how many times I've lost pieces. Here is the finished first and second card. I hope you enjoyed this. and that you'll like and subscribe. Come back and see me. It means a lot to me. I do this for you, and I'm going to leave some more videos here to check out. And until next time, bye-bye.